Hey all. Hey, I'm just going to make a real short video here as I drive to my house, and it's a subject around father's rights and the whole concept of, the divorce problem. And one particular thing that I have seen happen over and over again when it comes to men, um, you know, getting the shaft, as is the normal. We get the shaft all the time. But at the very outset, when there's a rocky situation in a marriage, and the man underestimates the situation, right? He thinks to himself, she's mad. We'll figure this out. She doesn't really mean this. I'm talking about serious things like, I want you out of the house, or maybe she's out of the house for some period of time, or there's been discussion about divorce, or I'm going to call the police, or, other serious things that are not normal to, say, a given argument. Everybody fights sometimes, right? That's the norm, whether people like to admit it or not. Married people argue, and but if they love each other and their intention is to remain married, then these arguments come and go, and that's normal. But when you start getting the sense, if your gut starts telling you that something's off, then you need to treat it like that, instead of trying to say to yourself, this will pass, we'll figure it out. You need to definitely buckle down and start looking at options quickly, so that you have a plan. Because if you get hit unaware, which is one of the biggest problems that men have, is they get hit unaware. um, they don't they don't realize, or they don't want to realize, they don't want to admit to themselves that they've got a very serious situation on their hands. So they don't act, they don't do anything. All right, that's no good. You're hurting yourself, you're hurting your kids. Can you always know? No, nobody can see into the future, and I'm not going to pretend like you can. But what I am trying to say is, if you're in a situation that your gut is starting to tell you something's not right, something doesn't feel right, it doesn't seem right, then you are probably correct, and you need to act. You need to get an attorney, or at least interview a few attorneys. You need to have a plan to protect yourself, because these are the types of guys who tell themselves, and I was there, months and months of just letting something simmer or boil under the surface, thinking to myself, we'll figure this out. We're gonna make this work. It's not gonna. I couldn't conceive of the idea that it wouldn't work. And while I was busy being an idiot, I was being undermined and sold out, and the fundamental destruction to my life and to my children's lives was going on for a lot longer than I knew. Okay, and I did have that gut feeling that something was wrong, but I was trying to do the right thing, and that's great. Nothing wrong with trying to do the right thing, but you need to put it on a very, very limited time frame. And because if you don't, you're going to pay on so many levels. So keep this in mind, and give me a shout, make a comment. The object here is to try to help in some way, shape, or form, just by communication. And maybe you have your own videos too that you want to make to communicate what you're dealing with. I don't know if that's always advisable at certain times. If you've got court situations, and you've got other areas where you might need to wait, it might be better to hold on doing something like that. But it's up to you. I don't make decisions for other people's lives, but I'm just saying that maybe those videos would be shareable with other guys. That's my object here. My object is to help guys. And so when you're at the front end potentially for this thing, you need to really think it out. You really need to have a plan to defend yourself. Talk to attorneys, talk to other people like me, or guys that have gone through this. Obviously watch out for skepticism on my part or someone else's part. But doing nothing, hoping for the best, generally speaking, total waste of time. All right, take care.